Hafa Day. My name is Nick and welcome to another episode of the Brew Quest. Today's beer style is the English barley wine, and today's beer is called Don't Drink Barley Wine by Port Brewing. This barley wine is an English barley wine in collaboration with Don't Drink Beer, which is a blog run by Alex Kidd. He also, I think, runs the Facebook group, or one of the admins for the Barley Wine is Life page or group, and he also hosts a podcast called Malt Couture, which is hilarious. I listen to it every week, and it's awesome. I've had a barley wine before, and I've used Bigfoot, the 2019 vintage, on this channel for the American version of the barley wine. And the reason it's actually taken me this long to do this beer style is because it's really hard to find a non-barrel aged version. I found like maybe 4 barrel aged versions at my local bottle shop, my local bottle shops. I went to like 3, and everything was barrel aged until I saw Port put out a picture of this beer saying it was going to be a regular barley wine, non-barrel aged, and I thought that this is going to be the perfect beer for me to do. So after watching my last video on American barley wine and reading through a couple of things on the BJCP style guide, I noticed there's going to be this, it's almost going to be the same, it's going to be very similar. The color on the English barley wine is going to be like a rich gold to a dark red, amber, almost dark brown in color. The tasting notes are going to be the biscuits, toffee, caramel in the darker versions, and the paler versions are going to be bready, toffee, biscuity. So it's not going to be, I guess, really crazy different from the American version, except for a few key things. So the ingredients kind of change a little bit when you go from American to English. In American, you use American hops, mainly like the hops from like the Pacific Northwest. I think Cascade was in the Bigfoot, and I think you hop it a lot more than this beer. I think I actually haven't had this beer yet or had this style, so I don't know how crazy the hop aroma and or hop bitterness is going to be in this beer. You also switch off with the yeast strains as well. In this one, you're going to be using a British style yeast, which I just realized that there's multiple kind of strains, just like hops, right? But yeah, I'm actually really excited to get into this beer. This is going to be like my second beer from Port Brewing. The first one I had was the Santa's Little Helper. It's an Imperial Stout. I had it over the holiday, the last holiday, and it was okay. It wasn't really great, at least for me. So I'm like, hopefully this kind of like brings it back. The main company also owns, I think, the THC, the hop concept, and Lost Abbey Brewing, which I used for a Belgian blonde ale, I believe. I think that was Devotion? Yes, I think it was called Devotion. Oh, so yeah, you know what? Actually, I forgot to talk about this. This is a 19.2 ounce can. I think it's called like a stovepipe. This is also 10.5% ABV. And like I said, it is brewed by Port Brewing, which is out of San Marcos, so local to San Diego County. I've only actually seen the can type like this in like Budweiser's, like Sierra Nevadas, like super tall ones. It's gonna be like first like 19.2, so it's like a little bit over a pint, 3.2 ounces over a pint. So this is gonna be interesting to see whether or not I can actually finish this. This is gonna be a lot of beer for me, especially at 10.5%. I'm probably gonna get a really good buzz off of it, and I can't wait. So you know what, enough talking about this beer, let's open it up, let's see what it's all about, and I will be right back after this pour. Let's get into this beer. The pour wasn't spectacular or anything. A little bit of head, but not a lot. There's still some good amount of carbonation in this beer. As I'm looking through it, I can see the bubbles rising to the top. So at least I know there is some carbonation left. The color of this beer is, like the description said, a nice amber color, a lighter amber color, probably closer to an amber ale. Yeah, that's kind of what I think this would be, like an amber ale. Maybe that Flanders red as well. A little bit lighter than the Flanders red, so it's sort of in that range. This is sort of opaque. I can't really see through it. I can't actually see the outside of this glass, so it's not really that clear. I don't really see any particulates or particles in this beer as well, so I don't think it's cloudy or hazy because of something like something floating around, I guess. But it still looks good. The bubble color is like a nice light brown, not like a stout or anything, but like a lighter, slightly beige head. So looks pretty good. So let's get a nose on it. I'm getting a lot of interesting aromas. It's sort of like a dark fruit, like I said, maybe that plum, like a dark plum, very like a light sweetness to it. Getting an interesting malt, what I'm interpreting as a malt aroma as well. Not so much, I don't get the alcohol in this one like I did on the Bigfoot, but there is something that's kind of there for me. Like I kind of feel like there's alcohol in that in those couple of breaths I took, but it's not super strong or super prevalent. Enough looking at it. Let's drink it. Cheers. I don't know if this is the best version of this barley wine, or maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm not really feeling this beer, and it's not because it's tastes bad. It's just it's not exciting. There's nothing really in it. To me, it's very plain. Like I'm getting a very like mild malt character coming off of it. I don't know if it's my taste buds or my tongue, but like I smelled the beer pretty good, so I'm thinking like my taste is still there. But I don't know. Like this, the flavor on this was very mild. It was like a mild malty flavor. I was thinking a little bit stronger because of the color. I was hoping for like more subtle notes of like the stereotypical Rolos and raisins, or rum-soaked raisins, or bourbon-soaked raisins, but I wasn't getting any of that. And I did let this beer come up a little bit to like room temp. Not room temp, but a little bit under room temp. It's not. It's been out of the fridge for like maybe 10 to 15 to 20 minutes already, and it's not super cold, so it's not really dulling my tongue or my palate. But yeah, like I get like a mild malt flavor. I'm getting this bitterness to it as well. I think that's probably the hop bitterness to it, and I'm not really getting any more like crazy subtle flavors that I was hoping to get off of it. I don't know if this is the I guess the best way to describe a British barley wine, and I'm definitely, at least for this style, I'm definitely gonna have to try more. But yeah, this really didn't blow me away like I thought it was gonna be, and it kind of sucks because this is a big can to drink. Alright, so where would I put this on my styles list? I think it's gonna be probably around the same as where the Bigfoot was, and that's actually kind of low now. I think when I did this, it was like during the beginning of the Brew Quest. Now I'm like ready. This would be the 48th style. So okay, so the American barley wine comes in at number 39, with the Belgian Quad at 38, Irish Dry Stout at 37, and the American IPA at 36. I will say I like this better than that Irish Dry Stout, which was the Guinness. I think that was because like maybe I had an old can of Guinness. I'm not too sure. I can probably try that again. But I'm gonna put this at very easily put this at number 37, right behind the American IPA, only because if you were going to give me a barley wine versus an American IPA, I'd probably take the American IPA because the bitterness is the same. I'm going to enjoy that very piney, citrusy hop aroma and the taste more than I'm going to enjoy this. So this is probably going to come at 37 English barley wine. Like I said, that doesn't make this a bad style. It just means this is not something that I'm gonna be drinking regularly. And with the same styles, I usually do try to get other beers in the same style whenever I travel. So I just took another sip, and it does kind of like change it a little bit. It's still not complex. It's still bitter, but it is a little bit better. But it's not so good that it's gonna overtake the spot that it has on the list. But yeah, I actually have another barrel-aged English style barley wine coming up from Mason Aleworks. I'll probably do next week. So yeah, with this fresh in my mind, trying out a barrel-aged version. Hopefully that changes my mind about the style as a whole. But we'll see. But thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. The English style barley wine is barely better than the American style barley wine.